options have changed. If you are interested in initiating enrollment for electronic notices or setting up an electronic designee, please visit our website at fideliscare.org for information on how to get started. Please be advised that the recipient of the electronic notices must establish a Fidelis Care portal login.
Holy f***ing shit, dude.
I realized pretty recently that it's not normal for me to wake up tired every single day, and aside from that being an obvious sign of depression, it's not helped by the raging headache that's being bestowed upon me because of AI. I am tired of AI being shoved down my throat, and I just want to talk about a few examples that are happening in my day-to-day life, and be prepared because I'm going to be projecting. So I wanted to talk about TikTok's live stream summaries being bad, but when I went to get footage for it, all I got were these SLOP advertisements of products that just have no necessity in life, which I know is ironic to call SLOP, but that's part of the joke. Funnily enough, when I went to get footage of all those ads after writing that line, I actually found what I was looking for originally. So all that to say, these summaries are just wrong or unnecessary half the time. Of course, the live stream with a picture of Trump is going to be political talking points. And then the Stranger Things discussion, that's just what the hell is going on here. And I'm being asked to trust this thing to not give me misinformation. And customer support hotlines have always kind of sucked, but it's been taken to a new level now. With AI existing, it somehow gives these companies more incentive to make their products worse, as AI is also being shoved down their throats as the next big thing. Now, look, I recently got my own insurance plan, and aside from the multitude of headaches that already come with that, I actually had to make my account. Nightmare. I'm just trying to use the service that I'm paying for. As a matter of fact, I tried to make the first payment, and that didn't really work when I went to the website, and so I called them because they were like, hey, here's a number, call us so that we can help you make your payment because we, for some reason, can't do it on the website. And I went to call them, and by the time that I get through these multitudes of calls that are holding up the queue, you know, because we're experiencing heavy calls because it's the first month of the year. And lo and behold, by the time that I actually make it to call somebody, they close. I do actually want to give a shout out to Spectrum. Having to talk with a representative of any ISP in the universe might be the worst torture that you can input on somebody. Anytime that I had to talk to somebody involved with an ISP, I think of that Sam Hyde clip where he's electrocuting himself. And that being said, the last time I called them, I got put on the phone with a guy who was like, dude, here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna take your plan and we're gonna just forget it. We're gonna give you half the price with double the speed for a year. And he said, mark your calendar, because this time next year, you're going to call my line back, and we're going to get you back on this plan. That was sick. By the way, I don't know what's playing on this other monitor now. I just put something on for the heck of it. But no, shout outs to that guy. I loved that. But seriously, interacting with customer support of any kind sucks. And it especially sucks when you're texting with somebody. Let's be real, you gave me an AI chatbot. Don't lie to me about it. Just say that you're gonna talk with the AI and we're gonna see how far that we can get you. Anytime that I have a problem with YouTube, I have to go through Google's incredible support, that being an FAQ page, and I can't even open a support ticket because they don't have that. And I get it, there's a considerably large amount of YouTube channels that exist in the world that if they had to attend to every single one, I'm not asking for a rep, I'm asking for a human being to watch my YouTube video and see that there's no problem with it, as opposed to visiting the FAQ and kind of hoping for the best. And that's what really sucks about like your early days of having a YouTube channel, because I've seen so many YouTube channels just disappear completely because once they get taken down, there's nothing that they can do about it unless they go to Twitter, of all places, and make an uproar over there, in which Team YouTube might respond. I think it's a little odd that a service like Google, the size and caliber that they are, has more of an interactive customer support on Twitter, a completely separate platform, than Google, their own thing. But look, Grok isn't off the chain either. I haven't gotten to you yet. One of the YouTubers I watch, Emma's MySpace, recently made a video talking about how there were pictures of her on the internet and somebody added Grok and made her naked. That's disgusting. I know that deepfakes have been around for a long time, but with deepfakes, there was always a culprit. There was somebody that you could go after. With AI, who do you go after? Do you go after the guy who made the prompt? Do you go after the guy that made the AI? Or do you just go fuck yourself? And it's the fact that it's so easy. All you do is you go to the comments of a Twitter post, you type in @Grok, let's do something about this, and then it spits it back out instantly. There's literally no other steps involved. You don't even have to go to a different sector of Twitter. You just reply to the post. And I know it's not just Emma who this is happening to. It's just the only example that I know of and want to talk about. And this all kind of ties into the bigger idea of Enshittification. For those of you unfamiliar and are trying to explain it to older people, it's basically taking a good thing and making it bad for the purpose of shareholders getting more money. And how do things become bad? Advertisements. Advertisements suck. Which is why I'm happy to announce that this video is sponsored by Helix Mattress. Take the mattress quiz today at helix.com/slop to get 10% off your first order. Enshittification is more than just more ads. It's things like UI or designs being changed for no good reason, just to be different and appease their shareholders. A lot of times when Enshittification is happening, UIs or user interfaces, forgive me, become bad. Why? I couldn't tell you. It worked fine. Why are we changing it? And the biggest example I can think of when it comes to Enshittification is Google. I know I touched on Google's support earlier, but there was a time period a little while ago where the Google search engine, marvel of the universe, if you ask me, was perfected. You could type something in, even if you type it in wrong, and Google would get something really, really accurate to show for you. Thing is though, there were some people at Google who wanted to make more money, and how are you going to make more money when something is already perfect? You make it suck. Here's the circumstances. The people who do money at Google were worried that they weren't making enough in advertisements. And where do advertisements pop up in Google searches? That's right, all the way at the top. And you're only showing 2 to 3 advertisements before you get to real search results. And they wanted more ads to show, but it would just clog up space. And so what they did is they made the search engine worse so that you would search the same thing a little differently again, and because you searched twice, they could put up more ads. I think that that's insane considering how cool the thought of a Google is. If you think like 40 years ago or even 50 years ago that you could have this endless library of information and sources and media and quite literally everything in the universe, at least in the known universe, at your fingertips. And they made it worse for money. I mean, we would have impeached somebody over this 50 years ago, but here we are. And that's not even to mention the Google AI overview, which that in and of itself sucks. I've had it be wrong so many times, especially when I'm searching for information that like I really want to be accurate. I need it to not suck. And then there's the VO3, which has these video generative properties that they made look like a PowerPoint interface now. I made a video a little while ago about VO3 and its capabilities, but with the new update, it's become so much more streamlined that we're cooked. I do want to give a shout out to this extension I got called Bye Bye AI that I have on my Firefox. It basically gets rid of the AI overview. Recently, actually, they did change something that supersedes the basically part of the AI that Bye Bye AI got rid of, and then it was back for a little while, and so I got another one that, let me look up the name. It's called Hide Google AI Overviews, and that has been working. If you have any portable Apple devices like the Apple iPhone or the iPad, I'm sure that you're familiar with this new update that's been happening. I beg you to not update it. I already don't update any of my apps or devices because I know that it's just gonna suck. Aside from the multitude of trash features like the windowed mode that they have on the iPad, they introduced a newer autocorrect. And that, I think, is their biggest crime. I've had my autocorrect off since the iPod Touch 5 because I know how to spell things. That being said, when I was typing in stuff on the iPad at work, I noticed it filling in words by itself. And that was a nightmare because here I am trying to type in the word birthday, and by the time I get to birth, when I reach over to put in day, day gets put in twice because when I type in day, because I'm not a slow typer, day is already put into the word by itself. Why? Look, I know that we're getting to this point in society where we're trying to wall-e ourselves and just be lazy and do nothing, but I think that I can finish the words that I type. Especially if they're not complicated words like birthday. And that's not even a mention because you also have the autocorrect on at the same time. It doesn't correct the mistake that the autofill made of putting in the word day at the end of birthday again. No, it just puts the red line underneath it at that point. It's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. This is on you. You did this. You put it there. You did this. Now fix it. It's just so dystopian, and it's only gonna get worse. We've just started. 5 years ago, they were making the AI president's gaming memes. Where are we gonna be in another 5 years?
I'm on Google Earth right now. I see a pizza on your roof.
That's my grandma's house. Nice try.
Today, I literally saw that clip of Trump telling Walt Jr. that there's a pizza on his roof, and it's a lot of Cap Jr. And listen, it's funny. It's funny for the time. It's funny for the ha-has and the memes. Give it another 5 years. We're done. We're done. Nothing. I'm not gonna own anything. I'm not gonna own anything. I'm gonna be paying for subscriptions. I'm already paying for like 15 subscriptions. That's kind of a lie. The only subscriptions that I really have are Nintendo Online, Pokemon Home, I pay for some of the Amazon Prime with my mother because she uses that a lot. PS Plus, of course, can't forget about that. Can I count internet as a subscription? Because I don't own the internet. I'm just paying $50 a month to be able to use it. I have my gym membership that I need to worry about. I have insurance that I need to worry about. Can that count as a subscription to just healthy life? It's a nightmare. It's truly a nightmare. I can't even imagine how this is affecting professional fields, because if it's affecting me this bad in my personal life, I can't imagine having to deal with like a Microsoft AI in a professional workspace. Microsoft already sucks. This has been established a long time ago. Microsoft sucks. Having to work with Cortana or whatever they have, death sentence. Death sentence. To be quite honest, I'd rather be... I can't say that on YouTube, I don't think. In Minecraft, of course. In Minecraft, of course. But no, AI is literally everywhere. It's being shoved down my throat so much that I've even started seeing it on the hub for AI jerking off. I don't know how that interacts. I thought about delving into that for this video, but to be quite honest, I have my morals. But if you like this video, slap a like on it. Only about 5% of my viewers are subscribed to my channel. It'd mean a lot if you did subscribe. That way I have some sort of validation for the attention that I'm seeking that I didn't receive growing up. Also, if you're willing to, please share this video with the women in your life. Only about 100% of my audience is male, but That's all I've got. Fuck Microsoft.